Welcome everybody, Steve here. Today I'm going to give the router sled a try, and so the first time. I have never used it. I'm kind of excited, but we got to get it all set up here first. Now I'm working on a breadboard kind of a project here, and I've glued up a bunch of old maple. Now this is a pretty old chunk of wood here. I don't know, was sitting in somebody's garage for like years and years and years. So I cut it up, glued her up. Now I want to use the router sled to make it all nice and pretty. But as it sat in my shop, I got a bit of a crown this way. It's only slight, but it's enough. So I'm putting the piece of wood with the crown down, and then I'm going to secure it in here. What I've come up with for that might not be the most bestest thing in the whole world, but I've got some corner clamps here. So basically, I'm going to clamp her in. Just put a screw in here, and that should hold it fairly good. Yeah, it's not going anywhere, but I got one of those going on here. So let us come up here and grab a couple shims. And we'll just shim it. A little less. Boy, it's not much of a wobble in her, but it's just enough. Do I need a thinner shim here? Oh, I got a real thick shim. I'll find a better one. Yeah, that one right there. Perfect. That's pretty stable. Now you could build yourself a little clamp, you know, that comes down here, a little wedge, and put a screw in there. But this is going to be more than good. It's awesome. Now, I've left myself quite a bit of room here to play with. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now what I have to do is set this sled. I've got to make sure that it's going to go across. And it's pretty close now, but I got to do some fine tuning. So all I'm going to do, like I could bring this even a little bit closer, but I think that's just going to be fine. I haven't done any fine tuning, but I'm just going to use this combination square. We'll set it. This side here looks like it's pretty good. And we'll just make everything nice and even. And that's the nice thing about my little threaded rod adjustment here. You know, it's not just a up and down and a wing nut. No, we got some serious stuff going on. That has to come up. That's got to come up a bit. Pretty good there. Ooh, this side's got to come up a little bit more. Looks pretty good right there. But as you go up on that way, then this side changes a little bit, so you got to keep doing it until you get it right on the money. That's pretty good right there. Okay, that's good. I'll get a wrench and I'll tighten these down so the vibration doesn't change something. I'm sure it will. So in my router, I got a, what do we got here? I got a 3/4 inch straight cutting bit with a 1/2 inch collet. So, you know, if you're plowing down some fairly heavy, dense wood, like maple, you know, you want to use that 1/2 inch collet, because you get that 1/4 inch one, that puts a lot of pressure on there, and it can break and fling off. So, and I've seen that happen before, so I don't want to do it again. Well, it hasn't happened to me. I've just seen it happen. Anyway, I think we're set up here now. Oh yeah, tighten these up. Be right back. Now you don't have to have these screaming tight or anything like that. You could probably do it with a pair of pliers. Now, one of the things that I do not know is how the dust is going to react here. Whether I need to, you know, hold the vacuum. I think the first couple of passes are gonna tell the tale. But there's gonna be a lot of dust, so use a dust mask. Now I got my router set to take just a little over a 1/16 of an inch. That should be okay. Okay, that is way easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, I've got that half done, now I'm going to do this half, but I'm going to suck up the sawdust first. Okay, I've got to take it down just a little bit more. The router isn't touching on the edges, so I'll drop the router down a little bit. I don't want to change this unless I have to. You know, It's a little easier just to bring the router bit down than it is to bring this up and down. So I'm going to make another pass and then we'll flip it. And the sawdust doesn't seem to be an issue. The only issue is I got some in my socks now. But that's not my problem. I'm wearing shorts. Whoop. The other way. Well, that did a really nice job. Now, when you're using a router, it always cuts better one way. I was going both ways, as I'm not really caring right now whether it's a perfect cut on here or not, because this is just a rough finish right now. So what I'm going to do, I've got some different ideas, and when I do it for the final time, I'll come back and then just go one way so that your router bit cuts a really nice cut. Does that make sense? Just say yeah. All right. I'll loosen this off. Flip it over. I think I'll probably vacuum that first. Okay, no shims required now. Perfect. Okay, I've dropped my router bit down just a little bit. Now all I have to do is finish this side up. Okay, now that the thickness is uniform, now I got something to work with. And I've got bigger plans for this cutting board. So stay tuned, because I think it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, that looks really nice. I am very impressed at how this worked. Okay, on to the next step. Well, I'm really impressed with how well this jig worked. You know, this is the part of the video where I'm going, okay, this is what I need to change. I wasn't happy with this, wasn't happy with that, but there was nothing that I wasn't happy with. And I think that what surprised me the most is how easy it was. Like, it didn't take any time, you know, to render this chunk of maple down to a nice uniform thickness. It, you know, everything slid. The only thing I did a little bit different is maybe how I held my router. You know, when I was, like on the last pass, I had two hands on it. I didn't have to really hold the sled. I could just use both hands, and you could just drag a finger to hold the sled. You know, it worked out really, really well. And of course, I left a link there if you want to see how I built this jig. So, you know, realistically, I don't think I would change anything on this. It worked out way better than I thought. So, the only problem is I just got a couple cutting boards to build. I got to come up with some other projects, because this is kind of fun. Anyway, the sled worked. I'm happy. Now I can continue on with these cutting boards. I got some pretty groovy ideas here for these cutting boards, but that'll be a different video, of course. So until next time, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.